Hey guys, it's Heather. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all of my favorites from Maybelline. About a month ago I did my favorites from L'Oreal, so I kind of wanted to continue on this trend and share with you all of my favorites from affordable drugstore brands. And all of the products that I'm going to be mentioning today I do have on my face, so I definitely want to also show you guys how the products perform in action. I'm going to provide swatches, all of that kind of thing, and I will link everything down below as always. So let's get started. So I think I'm gonna start with lip products first. I feel like I always start with face products and concealers, so I want to switch it up a little bit. So starting with my two favorite lip liners. I have the Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner. I personally like the shade Nude Whisper. It is like the perfect nude. And it just glides on super creamy on the lips. And I like that it's a retractable pencil, so you don't have to worry about sharpening it. They have a bunch of shades and the formula is just like really moisturizing. It's a really good drugstore lip pencil. And I just like that it doesn't like drag and it's just creamy. It goes on even. Really like it. I have it on my lips right now. And then another favorite is the GIGI HADID one. This is the lip liner in the shade TAURA, I believe it is called. Same deal with the retractable pencil. I'm pretty sure it is very similar as far as formula. It is just a tiny bit lighter. You can really barely notice. So if they didn't make this one anymore, your best bet is to go with the Nude Whisper shade. But these two are like my favorite pinky nudes from the line. And they're just really, really good, really creamy, really affordable. And I also wanted to mention that the Color Sensational ones are really budge proof. I just want to give you like a quick example. So here I am just removing the swatch with a baby wipe. As you can see, the GIGI HADID one and TAURA came off very easy. And Nude Whisper and the Color Sensation is really budge proof. I've been going at this for a while now. So that's just something that's worth noting. So for lipsticks, Maybelline has some of the best, creamiest drugstore lipsticks. Tons of shades. I really like the ones that have a little bit of a sheen to them over the mattes, but they have so many different shades to choose from. One of my favorites is the Baddest Beige. It is what I have on today, and it comes in a tube just like this. Has a nice divot in it for application, and it's just so creamy and smooth when it goes on. Just very comfortable on the lips, very moisturizing. Another drugstore brand that I like for lipsticks is Revlon. They make some really good lipsticks as well for the drugstore. Next up, my favorite lipstick from the brand is this Vivid Hot Lacquer. And this one is in the shade Unreal. I have this topped over Baddest Beige lipstick, and it doesn't smell like anything crazy. Like a very faint smell, nothing crazy. The applicator is really nice. It has like the doe foot with a tiny little divot in the center, and it's really easy to just kind of get in there. This shade in the pigment is just so stunning, and it really is like the perfect nude lip topper. And I find that it's not sticky at all. Like, it's very comfortable on the lips. It does last a good amount of time, and the color payoff is really rich. Definitely one of my favorite glosses by Maybelline from the drugstore. Can't beat the price. Really, really good stuff. Moving on to eye products, my all-time favorite mascara from Maybelline is the Colossal Volume Express. This is the original. I always get the shade Glam Black. I've been using this for a really long time. I mentioned this in my favorites video for my top drugstore mascaras. This has a collagen type of a formula, and the applicator is very, very fluffy. It's really good at kind of separating and lengthening without clumping. And another thing that's great about this formulation is that there's no like flaking or anything like that. No hardening, like your lashes feel super fluttery and soft. It is the mascara I have on right now. Performs really well on the lower lash line as well. I find that it lengthens them and separates them, and it's just really good stuff. So moving on to eyeliners. Now for Maybelline eyeliners, my absolute favorite is their gel liner. I think that this is better than high-end. This stuff is really good. This is the Eye Studio, and I get it in the blackest black. I will say that the applicator that it comes with, not a huge fan of. It's not terrible, but it just doesn't give you that precise line that you would get with like a flat angled brush. I prefer to use a flat angled brush. This one is from Eco Tools. It's just thinner, there's a little bit of an angle. It's much more precise. When you're applying this to the lash line, I just like to kind of wiggle it in. Sometimes I'll just kind of do what I have on today, which is just kind of deepening up that lash line. Very rarely will I go for like a wing, but you can totally use this gel liner for that. It doesn't budge. It's really good. You just want to make sure that when you're done using it, that you tighten it as much as possible because the pot will dry out, but for such an affordable price, you cannot beat this. Definitely, if you haven't tried it out and you're looking for a good gel liner, definitely give this one a try. Moving on to my next favorite is highlight. This is the Master Chrome. I get it in the shade Molten Gold. I also really like the shade. I'll put it on the screen. It's like more of a pinky toned and it's really pretty. This is a metallic highlighter. I do have it on today. It is definitely not subtle. It can be a little bit powdery, but my trick that I like to do is either right after I apply it or right before I apply it, I'll use a little MAC Prep and Prime and I'll kind of make sure my face is a little bit like moist in the area, and I'll just take a beauty blender and kind of dab it on. And it kind of makes it a little bit less powdery and just more like one with the skin, if that makes sense. But when you do take your brush and you go over the pan, there is some kickback, so it is more of a powdery highlight. I would say it's like comparable to the Ofra highlighters. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of a swatch comparison between the Master Chrome and this Molten Gold in comparison to Ofra Rodeo Drive and Becca Champagne Pop, because these three are my favorite more gold tone type highlights, and they're at 3 different price points. So if you do like a shade like this, or maybe more of like the pink one goes with your skin better, or the deeper one, this is a really good option if you're looking for like a really pretty metallic highlight. It is what I am wearing today, and I really like this stuff, especially for like traveling, or if you just want to pop it in your purse, or if you're going on an airplane and you don't want to bring your more high-end highlight. It makes sense to bring something that's at a drugstore price. So if it does break or something happens to it, it's no worries, but this is a really good quality highlight for the money. Maybelline has some really awesome face powders. My favorite are the Fit Me ones, and I like this Set and Smooth. I get it in the shade Ivory. It's what I have under my eyes today, and I prefer to go with a lighter shade than my skin, so it kind of brightens. They also have the Fit Me Matte and Poreless, which is more suitable for normal to oily skin. I don't really find much of a difference. The Set and Smooth is meant for normal to dry. Again, I don't notice much of a difference between these two, but I do have them both in the classic ivory shade. I think that they perform equally as good, so if you're looking for a good pressed powder from the drugstore, definitely check these ones out. And then as far as loose powder, this is hands down my favorite loose powder from the drugstore. I get it in the light shade. This is 15. The packaging, it's definitely sturdy. It's kind of weird because it's like a square, but basically it just comes like this, and it's really good at setting your makeup. I find that my makeup doesn't budge. It feels like very smooth on your skin. My bronzer, blush, everything applies really flawlessly over it. Definitely happy with this. No flashback issues or anything like that. There isn't any SPF in these powders. If I'm traveling and I just want something quick, say I'm running out, I need to do my makeup on the go, I'll definitely take the pressed one just because the powdered version is obviously more messy, but I do really like both of them. So definitely try them out if you haven't already. Next up are my 2 favorite concealers from the brand. I use these for 2 different things. The Maybelline Cover Stick I get in medium beige. I've talked about both of these 1,000 times, but essentially for the Cover Stick, I'm dealing with a lot of dark spots and melasma and hyperpigmentation, whatever you want to call it, from this pregnancy. So I prefer to use the Cover Stick first to kind of color correct and apply it to all of my problem areas prior to putting my foundation on. If you have a blemish or something, you could just kind of pat it on your finger and dab it on, and it covers really nice. I would say it is full coverage, and you can definitely put it underneath your foundation, and it just provides like an extra layer of coverage. So if you have, say, a lot of rosacea or a lot of red skin or whatever you're looking to cover up, it just kind of adds that extra layer of coverage and security. So I really like this stuff. This stuff is super cheap. It's under $5. So if you're looking for something like that, definitely check out their Cover Stick. And then for concealer, like under the eyes for brightening, I always use pretty much on a daily basis. I'll go in with this Instant Age Rewind. I always get the shade Neutralizer. It's just very brightening. I think that it works really good as far as how my skin and fine lines are under my eyes. I'm in my mid-30s and I don't find that it has like any creasing. When I set it, I don't find that there's a lot of crepiness. And it's just very moisturizing. There's a lot of anti-aging properties in this one as well. But I think that if you're gonna use it for like brightening and you have a similar skin tone to mine, you will definitely like the shade Neutralizer. Just blends really, really nice under the eyes, and this is something that I can just throw in my bag. It's just so quick and easy. Again, it's super affordable. And I think that this concealer is probably the best at the drugstore. Overall, drugstore brands, this one just performs really, really well. The only thing that's a little bit dicey is the applicator is a sponge, and you don't want to get it wet or anything like that. It's supposed to be hypoallergenic. I don't think it is, but I go through this stuff so quickly that it doesn't bother me, but that could definitely be something that may bother some people. So those are all of my favorites from Maybelline as of right now. I hope you guys like this video. I think that I'm gonna do one for like NYX, maybe Milani, e.l.f., something like that. Let me know your recommendations down below or what you're curious about, and I will share my favorites from those brands. If you are new to my channel, I do everything from like beauty to organization to cleaning to lifestyle, so definitely check out some of my other videos, and I hope you guys will stick around, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.